I'm with Mark Othman from Operation Blessing. Now, Mark, what is Operation Blessing?
Operation Blessing is an international NGO, humanitarian organization. We work in 23 countries, and currently I'm managing the Palestinian territories.
So what is the vision for Operation Blessing?
The vision is to alleviate poverty and also just sharing Jesus' love amongst the people.
And what sort of projects do you do with Operation Blessing?
So we're running all sorts of projects in the Palestinian territories as well as in Israel. We're working in 12 different sectors. Some of those sectors would involve relief work, micro-enterprise, IGAs, human rights issues. So we're really just working in different fields. Wherever the need is, that's where we are.
How is the human rights issue in the Palestinian area?
Well, oftentimes we're finding that there are violations to women's rights, for instance, especially in Hebron, which is the biggest city in the West Bank. There is the biggest rate of honor killing cases. There's a lot of abuse going on. We're definitely there to try to help these women come out of the situations that they're in. And there's sometimes we also find that there's abuse towards children with disabilities, or individuals, should I say, with the various disabilities. It can be as small as physical disability and as big as a mental disability. But we're always out there to also try to help them in different fields.
Are disabled children hidden from society?
Yes, oftentimes the individuals with disabilities are hidden from society. Because they pose a big threat to their spouses' marriages in the future. If people find out that the family has a handicapped or a child with a disability, then oftentimes the spouses will not be able to get married. So oftentimes we also find out that there is a belief that children with disabilities can be as a result from a curse, and so many times they're seen or looked down upon.
And you talked about honor killings as well. Are these investigated by the police, or are they just sort of hidden to one side?
Honor killing is definitely a situation that people are working on, or it's being brought to the attention of the media. Thanks to the international NGOs like the UN, the USAID, and other NGOs, and these cases are being investigated by the police, maybe not as thoroughly as should be. There's also a law, or there had been a law for a while, that if a man comes and confesses that this killing or the killing of this woman was because of honor killing, that the jail time would be a lot less than if it had been just because of another case.
Is there a lot of poverty within the Palestinian area?
Definitely, there's a lot of poverty. I would say that Bethlehem and Ramallah are the better off cities in the West Bank, but there is a lot of poverty in the West Bank.
Within the poverty, are there people who are actually going to work and working, but even though they're working, they're still in poverty?
There are many people that work full-time, but they're still in poverty just because the pay is so low.
So is there a circle where people, there are rich people and they're abusing the poorer end, the poorer element of the Palestinian area?
I never really noticed such abuse.
So do you work in both the Israeli and the Palestinian side?
Yeah, Operation Blessing. We work in like I mentioned, we work in 23 countries, and here we have an office that works specifically with the Palestinian territories, so the Palestinian people, and we also have an office working with the Israelis, so Holocaust survivors, and just really anyone that's dealing with poverty.
So it must be very difficult to go and see a Holocaust survivor and hear their story.
Yes, it is.
Do you get to hear some of their stories?
Well, not personally, not myself. I don't personally hear too many other stories because I'm not as involved in the Israeli side as some of my co-workers or my managers.
So are you a faith-based organization?
Yes, Operation Blessing was set up and continues to be a Christian organization. We don't necessarily evangelize to every individual that we work with, but we're definitely there to share our love and just share a little bit of Jesus with these individuals.
Why then do you do what you do?
Well, this opportunity came up 3 years ago. I've been working with the organization 3 years. It came up through friends of friends. And I realized at the time that this was really where I wanted to be. I wanted to be with the people themselves. I wanted to meet individuals. I wanted to just share love and really hear their stories. And so this is really why I'm still part of the organization. I have great opportunities meeting different individuals.
So is it heartbreaking when you actually go into some place and you see the poverty and the difficulties that are there within a community or within a family?
Poverty is always going to be part of our world. And so, yes, it is heartbreaking when I specifically see people that are really suffering. But in the meantime, I know that we're also doing good, at least one family at a time, one individual at a time. And that also brings a lot of joy to our work, or my work specifically. I think what really for me is very heartbreaking is when minorities, specifically like the people with disabilities, women, and Muslim background believers, for instance, those are Muslims who have converted or became Christian, or they've taken upon the Christian faith. When they're being abused, for me, that's the most heartbreaking, and it really upsets me.
Are there many Muslims who are coming to faith in Jesus?
Well, according to Al Jazeera, I believe it was last year, in 2013, they had a whole report about thousands and thousands of believers or Muslims coming to faith in the entire Middle East. And then I speak to some of my friends who are also TV hosts, and they specifically work with Muslims, and just really sharing Jesus with them. I'm hearing that, yes, many Muslims are coming to faith each year, and actually it's on a monthly basis, really. And 2 years ago, I had the privilege of visiting different churches, underground churches, with one of my MBB friends, Muslim background believer friends, and I was really shocked to see how many individuals were attending these congregations in these churches, and just really hearing the stories were just really flat. I was really amazed.
How dangerous is it for someone who's a Muslim to become a Christian?
So for a Muslim to become a Christian could be very, very dangerous, because according to the Muslim religious beliefs, they need to be killed if they don't repent and go back to their old ways, which is Islam. So it could be very dangerous. I myself come from a Muslim background as well, but thankfully my family has been a lot more open-minded about it than other families have. But I've heard of many cases where they've had to escape and leave to the Western world, like Europe, America, and even I have a friend who lives in Australia, just because their families wanted to kill them for becoming Christian.
And what's your prayer finally for the entire Middle East?
The Middle East really needs a lot of prayer in different areas. One of the areas would be just really opening up and understanding who Jesus really is, and understanding what His grace and love is about. And yeah, I really feel like that would solve a lot of issues here in the Middle East.
And you have a website address for people who'd like to know more about the work that you do. What's your website address?
Yeah, definitely. We have a website. Our website would be www.ob.org.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.